lower end hotels here in Marriott, but there's a lot of different Marriott hotels in all types of cities here in China. Please follow the channel and share this live stream, y'all. Let's keep moving. You could probably stay at this hotel right here for like 7,000 points, Marriott points a night. This Fairfield over here. Beautiful. Let's keep going. Yeah, I didn't mean to open a can of worms with that question, but I just remember when I first immigrated to the United States and I didn't even speak any English at the age of 11. We used to go to school every day and they would make me remember this thing called I pledge allegiance to the flag. Yeah, I remember. It was I pledge allegiance to the flag, and then a lot of words after that I don't remember. But we used to have to do that every single day. So hopefully the kids aren't getting away from that. Thank you, Winona, because the kids are getting a very patriotic education here. So what about jobs if you don't know the language yet? And you know, since I started streaming, there's actually been a lot of people who reached out to me about working here in China. It surprised me quite a bit. I don't know what it is, why the people, maybe they saw my stream, they find this country interesting, they want to come and work here, but it's kind of hard to work, it's kind of hard to look for a job here unless you're teaching English, unless you're doing some type of expertise job or your company transfers you here. Thank you, Ian. Thank you very much, Ian. So, you know, it's one of those things where you really gotta have a job lined up before you come here. You know, this is not one of those places where you come here to look for a job. You gotta have a job lined up before you come to this country. And if you're, like I said, if you're senior management at a major US company and you're transferring here to China, you don't need to know any Mandarin. Thank you, Stan. So hopefully that helps. Yeah, ask your questions. Well, my moderators will post them. We're walking downtown, and thank you, Jeannie. Thank you, Stan. We're walking in downtown Harbin. Thank you, Mark and Stan. We're leaving here tomorrow night to go to Beijing, so take this city in for as much as you will, because we're getting out of here. Thank you, W. Bill and Mark. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Rise and shine. Happy Wednesday morning. Rise and shine, everybody. Thank you, Plant Groove. Rocky Diane, that's a good question. Do I ever plan to come back to the United States? Thank you, Plant Groove. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Cheryl Curtis. Thank you very much. Do I ever plan to come back to the United States? The answer is yes. But it'll probably be at a different stage of my life than it is now. Thank you, Cheryl Curtis. You see that how that question kind of threw me in a trance in a little bit. I gotta be at a different stage in my life for me to come back to America. You know, thank you, Jay. Yeah, I just gotta be at a different stage. I gotta have some kids. I gotta be married, and you know, kids will go to school. But as a younger single person, here is so much more affordable. I don't know, man. I thought my parents want me to come back to North Carolina badly. You know, they want me to marry an American girl and settle down and raise some kids in North Carolina in Chapel Hill. But as you guys can see, I really enjoy what I do out here in China. Thank you, Jay. You guys know that I very, very much enjoy what I do out here in China, in Asia. So I don't know. I don't really think about that question until you guys kind of bring it up a little bit, you know, here on streams. Are there any royal descendants? So let's move on. Are there any royal descendants from the dynasties? Do they get special treatment? Thank you, Amuj, for that question. That's a great question. People probably didn't know this, but Confucius actually has thousands of descendants here in China. The great sage Confucius, he has many, many thousands of descendants, kids, grandkids, great-great-grandkids, all the way. Now, that's got to be great-great-great-great-great-great-grandkids. They don't get any special treatment. They are just normal citizens. Very, very normal citizens. The people that, I don't want to say get special treatment, there's no one that gets a special treatment if you're a descendant from a royal person. But The answer is no. You don't get any special treatments, of course. I mean, shit, I could tell you, I could tell you guys, I'm the descendant of the first emperor of China. All right? I mean, you could really pretty much say anything you want. Thank you, Amber. I mean, I could say I was descended from, I could say I was descended from the Yellow Emperor, right? It's kind of hard to prove these things unless it's like a very recent emperor. Please follow the channel and share this live stream. So, no, they don't get any special treatments, but the answer is yes, there's a lot. So let's keep going. Thank you, Williams. Are there homelessness like here in the USA? You got to watch the channel a little bit more because the answer is no. The answer is no. Look how similar this is to the United States, though. Look at this. This is just like America. Thank you, Herman and Williams. Thank you, Plant Goo. Let's keep going. Very few homeless people here in China. But, you know, that's actually a very recent phenomenon here in China. You know, I will tell you one thing that they have here in this country that we don't have back home in America. Thank you, Hostel 7. Absolutely safe. Absolutely safe out here for a young lady to walk around. I'll tell you one thing they have in China that they don't have back home in America. Let me tell you guys something that they have here that they don't have back home in the United States. They have, well, at least they used to have, I don't know if they still do, they have what I call professional beggars. Meaning people who beg for a living, but who are actually very rich. Begging has become their job, essentially. Thank you, Terry and Jakari. There used to be a lot of people, I remember when I was a kid growing up, who would be on the streets, you know, pretending to be disabled or you know, something, pretending something to be wrong with them. Or maybe they are disabled, but they beg for a living, so people will give them some money and they think that they're, you know, they're doing a good thing. But those people are actually very, very wealthy. So in their home village. So I don't really see that anymore. You guys understand, man, like here in China, a lot of that stuff is being cleaned up by the local government. So if your ass was out here on the streets here in this corner over here, you know, begging for money or pretending to be homeless, you know, the government will come and clean that up because they don't want you out here, you know, defecating all over the place, messing up the beautiful scenery of this city. So you can't, you know, if I was out here, I just wanted to pitch a tent right here, the cops will be here within a couple of hours and they'll clear you out. You know, this is not like California, man. They're very strict about this stuff here in China. You can't just post up here and say, I wanna pitch a tent out here. It's not gonna happen. Follow the channel and share this live stream. Gotta go this way. Let's keep moving. Yeah, ask your questions. My beautiful moderators Ian and the BZ nurse Sonny will post your questions. We're walking down the street. It's here late at night in almost just past 7 p.m. here. Yeah, just past 7 p.m. 7:19 p.m. out here in the city of Harbin. We're walking around the neighborhoods. We're going to a night market. It's going to be a long ass walk. So go ahead and ask all the questions that you want to ask. Hit that follow button. And you know, my name is Daniel from the state of North Carolina in Chapel Hill. I've been living out here in mainland China for almost 6 years. Time has flown by. Thank you, Jess. Very good lives, I appreciate it. Hopefully we get some more content coming your way. Who's excited for the capital, Beijing, tomorrow? Thank you, Leather and Pearls. Who's excited for Beijing in 36 hours? We're gonna be in Beijing in 36 hours, y'all. The Beijing, the capital. Last time I was in Beijing, 7 cops talked to me. Hopefully this time when I go to Beijing, I don't wanna be bothered by no cops. Thank you, Jonathan. I don't wanna talk to no cops. Okay, I don't want nobody to talk to me. Okay, I don't want no law enforcement talking to me like they did last time when I was there in April. Thank you, Gospel. I don't want to have any interactions with no cops. Thank you, Jamie. So let's keep moving. Follow the channel. We're going to be in Beijing in 36 hours, baby. We got our tickets for the Forbidden City. Thank you, Hostel 7 and Jamie. Thank you, Sailor. Where's that American accent from? I'm American. Where's that accent? Well, what you mean? I'm supposed to have a British accent? Thank you, Miss Layden. Thank you, My Pink. Good morning, everybody back home in the United States. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I do sleep, man. I sleep when you guys are awake. I'm 12 hours ahead of y'all back home in the States. Thank you, Jonathan. I live in China, man. My time zone is different from yours. When y'all are awake, I'm asleep. Beautiful. I ever think the channel will blow up in such a short time? No. The answer is no. When I went live, man, I didn't know what was going to happen, man. I didn't even, man, like I said before, man, all this stuff is new to me. I'll tell you guys this story. So, I had never watched live streams before. Thank you, Amy. I don't even have Instagram. I never watched a single live stream before in my entire life before I started to go live myself. So I didn't even know how this stuff worked. So I just turned on my phone one day, and here on TikTok, I had over 60,000 followers by the time I went live for the first time. So I already had 60,000 followers. I said, you know what? We're gonna go live. Let's see what happens. And from the very first time, people were attracted to what I was saying, to what I was showing to them. And it just took off from there. We're almost at 300,000 followers in 7 months of streaming. So no, I didn't know it was gonna be like this. Thank you, Carrie Lynn. I didn't know it was gonna be like this. But I just try to do my best every single day. I'll tell you guys this. Let me tell you guys this. Listen to me. As we walk down the street here. I always tell people, I'm not the most talented. I'm not the most handsome. I'm not ugly either. I'm not the most talented. I'm not the most handsome. But I want everybody on the app that watch me to know me as the most hardworking. I am definitely one of the most hardworking people on this app. I don't waste any time. You guys, a lot of people say, I always see you on TikTok. I am the most hardworking person, I would say, one of the most hardworking people here on TikTok. I don't care what my reputation is other than the fact that I want to be known as a hardworking person. Thank you, Pink Sakura, and that's good enough for me. Be known for my work ethic. I'm always out here grinding. I'm always here streaming, doing what I love to do. And I think that's the reason why people respect the channel and they show the channel love, because they know I'm always working. They know I'm always trying to show stuff. Any earthquakes in China? Let me tell you guys this. I have never experienced an earthquake before in my life. So, yes, there are earthquakes in China. We were streaming from the city of Tangshan about a month ago that was devastated by an earthquake in 1976. So, yes, there are earthquakes in China, just like in America, just like in other parts of the world. But let me tell you guys this, knock on wood over here. Knock on wood. I don't want no earthquakes following my ass, okay? Earthquakes are going to stay where they are, and don't follow me, man. I don't want to experience no earthquake. I don't want my mom and dad to experience no earthquake, and I don't want you guys to experience no earthquake. So let's keep moving. Follow the channel and share this live stream. Yeah, for real though. Follow the channel and please share this live stream. Thank you, Lua TV. Someone just said this looks very Soviet. Let me tell you guys this. All of China that are these old style buildings in many ways has a lot of Soviet DNA. Because you have to remember, China is a socialist country. China is not a capitalistic country. This is a socialist country with Chinese characteristics. What's the most original socialist country on this entire earth? It's Russia. It's the Soviet Union. This is why when you guys look at all these Chinese cities that we go to, when you go to the older neighborhoods, a lot of the buildings, a lot of their administrative buildings that are a little bit older, let's say built in the 80s or the earlier, these buildings in the 90s, also Eastern European nation like Bulgaria or Romania or Ukraine. If you ever look like footage of the Ukraine war and you look at what the Ukrainian buildings look like, they look like Soviet buildings. The Soviet Union and the Soviet Communist Party has had a very profound impact, even to this day, on not only the thinking, but also of the way a lot of cities were laid out, especially in the north. The more north you go in China, the closer to Beijing, the closer to Beijing, in my opinion, the more similar a lot of these cities look. The way that the Chinese cities were districted and were built in the 70s, 80s, and 90s is almost identical here in the north. Thank you, Jules and Fally. A lot of these older buildings with no elevators, you climb up there. These were all built in the late 90s, early 2000s. They all look the same pretty much everywhere you go. Now, the city of Harbin, as you guys would see, actually has a lot of unique architectural elements because this is a very cosmopolitan city. Okay? Just as I say that, the gentleman right there actually has a Christmas tree He has that gentleman right there. Not that family right there has a Christmas tree. He had a Christmas tree that I could see from the window over there. That's really cool. Christmas is 3 months away. But anyway, look at this. A lot of these older buildings are pretty much the same all across China. I grew up in one of these. So for all the new viewers, please follow the channel and share this live stream. Thank you, Christian. My name is Daniel from the state of North Carolina. I stream out here in China. We're just walking the streets of this very sleepy city. You know, what I mean by that is this city gets cold in the winter time, and these folks are getting ready for winter. So this city is very, very quiet at night. Not a lot of pedestrians in the road. Look how empty this is. Not many people walking about. Please follow the channel, that's right, and hit me with your best questions about living here. I'd love to answer any questions that you have. Very, very quiet. Yeah, man, it's a very, very romantic town. I'm telling you, I could live out here in the summer, man. I could live out here in the city in the summer. Thank you, Sunsets. I could live out here, man. Thank you, Y2 and Sunsets. And it's a very cheap city to live in, too. You know, you don't have to worry about, you know, you don't really have to worry about, what's it called? As I keep moving. This is a very affordable city to live in. People keep asking about the trees, man. Every single live stream, I get new viewers, they ask about the trees. This has been done for 30, 40, 50 years here in China. People paint the trees because they don't want the termites to climb up and infect the trees. So they put medicine in this white paint over here to prevent the termites from damaging the trees. Thank you, Nate. Thank you very much, Nate. Quiet, man. I pretty much got the streets all to myself. So I'm telling y'all, this is the quietest northern city. Nobody in the streets except these cleaners over here. Thank you, Y2. How much is a typical rent for an apartment? Man, I answer this question on every live stream. Folks like Terry and Hannah, they must be tired of hearing. And Mauricio's like, I got a PhD in economics in China, man, by watching your live stream. I listen to this shit every day. It depends on the building, man. If you live in this freaking building right across the street from me, thank you, Y2, you can rent an apartment here for less than $180, $200 a month because this is an older building. You know, you got to remember, you don't have an elevator in this building. Thank you, Jeannie and Sticky Rice. Yes, I'm still in Harbin. Thank you, Gigi. I'm going to the city capital, Beijing, tomorrow. Like, you could live here for less than $200 a month. Like, you could literally live in this building for $200 a month. I promise you, you could live here for $200 a month. And a lot of these units are for rent, too. Like, you could literally rent these places regardless of nationality, and you pay less than $200 a month. But the question is, if you're an American or you're British or you're French, is what are you going to do here, right? Yes, the rent is cheap, but you got to have employment, right? You got to have a job, right? You got to have something to do unless you have a steady source of income, right? $200 is not a lot of money, but you know, it's like you see this neighborhood over here. A lot of people just chilling out here. $200 a month get you a nice place. Now, look, we're going to Beijing in 36 hours. If you wanted to rent a nice place in Beijing, that will be expensive. You are looking at least $700, $800 a month for a nice place in the nation's capital, Beijing. But here in these other cities, right? Like, this is not expensive. But this is also not a place a lot of Americans live because there are no job opportunities for an American out here. What would you do as an American here? You wouldn't have anything to do with your life, right? There's not a lot of jobs to hire Americans. Thank you, Ian. Thank you, Terry, for the balloons. Thank you, Terry. Thank you, Ian. You know what I love about the fact that a lot of my viewers who've been with me for a while, like Terry, you've been watching me for a while. What I love about it is that you guys are very tolerant. You've been watching me for a while. What I love about it is that you guys are very tolerant of the fact that when guys I to them in a way that you might have heard of before. And thank you, Mr. Cole, whoever Cole is. Thank you for the Cash App. I appreciate you. Thank you, Baina and David Wu. Seriously, I appreciate my regular viewers for putting up with this because a lot of the questions that we get is very repetitive, and I answer it at this time slot because we have a lot of new viewers. So please follow the channel and share this live stream. If you're a first-time viewer, welcome to join our family. We're almost at 300,000 followers here on TikTok. Now, a little bit of history. Not country to country yet, because China is so big, it's gonna take me at least 2-3 years to finish traveling China. This is my first 7 months, so I think I'm gonna still travel China for at least maybe another year and a half, another 2 years, because I wanna show you guys everything here in China. Thank you, Messi Jess. Thank you so much. Thank you, Baina. Thank you, all the new viewers to the channel. Thank y'all for all y'all support. Thank you, Larry. I think I'm gonna be traveling in China probably for at least another year and a half, close to 2 years. We haven't even touched the great western deserts of China. We haven't even touched the interior area of China. There's so much to see. I'm gonna be here for a while. And of course, we're gonna be in Beijing for a week. Thank you, Diana and Black Widow. Let's keep it moving. Please follow the channel, everybody. My home is in North Carolina. Just as if I were to travel to the United States and stream from America, it would take me at least a couple years to finish streaming the United States, because we have so much to see in America, from large American cities to small towns. Same concept here. China is so big, I'll be here for a while. And also China is so affordable. Thank you, Marissa. It's such an affordable country to travel in. It's, that's why, like I said, I'm able to go to all these places and stay here for a while. So please follow the channel and share. Follow the channel and share this live stream. Silly question. If everyone speaks Chinese, are there different accents? Oh, for sure. Look, this is a great question, man. Thank you, Mr. Thank you, Cole. Whoever Cole is. Moderators, man, I have this gentleman named Cole who's supporting the channel with this Cash App. I don't know who it is, but thank you, Cole. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This is the reason I want all the Americans to listen to me very carefully. There is a reason why China is such a modern, advanced nation. There's a reason for this. Because just about 90 to 95% of the population, I would say at least 80 to 85% of the population here in China speak one language, and that's Mandarin. That is the reason why, that's also the why America is such an amazing country. Most people in America speak English. Most people in America can speak English. Even new immigrants coming to this country eventually in their life would have to learn English if they want to freaking pass the citizenship test. This is the reason why China is a great country, because everybody speaks Mandarin. This is also one of the reasons why when you look at another large country like India, that's a fundamental difference between why India is still a struggling economy, 6 times smaller than that of China when they started at the same place 30 years ago. Because when you go to India, thank you, Carlene, you can go from one village to the next and completely not understand what the hell they're talking about. So many languages and dialects in India. It is really a continent more so than it is a country. Here in China, it's the exact same way. However, in the 1950s, everybody was asked to study and learn Mandarin. It was an active decision that was taken by the government here. Everybody has to speak Mandarin. It was a very, very intentional decision by Chairman Mao and the people that ran this country starting in '49. They all have to write the same way, write the same letters. They all have to speak the same way. This is the reason why I can communicate with everyone in my live streams, because just about 80 to 85% of the population speak the same language. And it's not an external language like how they speak English in India, because India used to be a British colony. Thank you, Linda and Warrior. They speak their own language, the Mandarin language, which is derived from the city that we're about to go to, which is Beijing, the capital. The Mandarin language, by the way, thank you, Daniel Klecker, is based on the Beijing dialect from the capital, China. Thank you, Warrior and Daniel Collector. Follow the channel, man. Thank you, Wolfie, man. I'm very, very honest, man. I always tell it to you guys the way it is. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. Thank you, whoever Cole is watching the channel. Thank you so much, Cole. I appreciate you. Thank you, Cole. Follow the channel and share this live stream. You see people in Italy speak Italian. Well, that's because you gotta understand, Italy is not a large country geographically, so it's much easier to achieve. You know, if you're watching me for the first time, know that I like to walk around at night. Thank you, Soap Addiction and Ricardo. I love to walk around late at night by myself here in China. as an American, I just love to explore their alleys and explore their streets. Thank you, Jeannie and Susie T. Thank y'all so much. Thank you, Soap. So many new faces who supporting the channel. Thank you so much, Jeannie. Jeannie is not a new face, but so many new faces supporting the channel. Thank you so much. Thank you, Soap Addiction, Sagula, and Emerging. I like to walk around. Thank you, Fally and Emerging. Let's keep more. What's up, everybody? Thank you, Herman. Hit me with your best questions. Herman and Joni and Rodolito, thank you. Are there gangs in China? Oh, I got you. Thank you, the Strickland family. Thank you, the Strickland family. Thank you so much. Thank you, Regina and Herman. Look, I gotta be honest with you guys, man. There is crime in China. I'd be lying to you if I said there wasn't crime in China. There is crime. There is drug use. There is petty crime. There is all types of crime here in China. There's a country of 1.4 billion people. It's crazy if they don't have any crime. Thank you, Pond Hopper and Steph and Just. But the thing that you have to understand is they have a population here in China of 1.4 billion people. Yet they have fewer people incarcerated than we have in America. And they are very tough on crime. So that should tell you about the prevalence of crime here in China. That should tell you everything you need to know about the prevalence of crime here in China. They got 1.4 billion people, and they have fewer people incarcerated in prisons than we have in America. And they're very tough on crime. So that should tell you everything. Thank you, Purple Sky and Arjun. That should tell you everything you need to know. Thank you, Arjun and Purple Sky. Now, there's one interesting thing they have in China that we do not have America when it comes to their crime and administrative system. Follow the channel. They have something, hit that follow button, y'all. Thank you, Maurice and Mickey. They have something here in China called detention, which is a very unique concept for everybody who's watching back home in the States. Let's say you are arrested for drunk driving. Let me give you an example. Let's say you're arrested for drunk driving back home in America, okay? You would have a court date in America if you got arrested for drunk driving. You would have to go to court, and if it's a repeated offense, you might go to prison. You might go to jail for a couple months, right? If it's a repeated offense. Thank you, Kim. Here in China, if you get arrested for drunk driving and it's like, let's say, a repeat offense, you wouldn't necessarily go to jail, but they would throw you in what's called a 7 to 14 day administrative detention. So it doesn't, you're not going to jail, but your ass ain't going to Ritz-Carlton either. Your ass is going to administrative detention where you're gonna share a bunk bed with like 7, 8 other guys. You're gonna share the same toilet and the food is terrible and you are deprived of your freedom. So that is something they do have here in China. They got essentially an entire other layer of the justice system called detention that we don't have back home in America. So it's a very, very interesting administrative concept. So like, let's say, for example, you get into a fight back home in America and you get charged with assault. You would have to go to court. You would have to go to court. You will have a court date and you potentially could go to jail if you are convicted of assault. Here in China, if you get into a fight and you get arrested, you would go to detention for 14 days. So it's technically not jail, but you are also deprived of your freedom. You are going to detention. So they, like I said, in their criminal justice system, they have some tools that are different from the United States, but they have some different tools to make sure that their society is tough on crime. Does that make sense, everybody? Does that make sense what I'm explaining? Does that make sense? Please follow the channel, y'all. I stream every single day out here in China. Hit the follow button. All my new followers, I am streaming every single day from Asia, from China. We're going to Thailand very, very soon, later this year, later 2024. Hit the follow button. We're on our way to 300,000 followers, y'all. Hit the 300,000 followers. Thank you, Crazy A. Thank you very much. My moderators, we got some good questions. Thank you, Rooks. So please keep pinning the questions. Let's keep moving. So close to 300,000. I know, we're very close to 300,000. Beautiful. Yes, Matt. Let me pin some questions. Any questions y'all want to ask, pin some questions. Could Americans get disability assistance there or Social Security? Johnny, I assume that's a question asked with very good intentions, but why the hell would Chinese government give an American disability or social insurance? That don't make no damn sense. Thank you, Toy Man. That don't make no damn sense. That's like a foreigner coming to our country and claiming Social Security. Oh, actually, they do that already in America. Oh shit, I guess they do that in America, but they ain't not gonna do that here in China, man. There's no handouts here in China for foreigners. There's no handouts out there for. I guess they do that. I take that back. I guess they do that out here. You know what? I take that back, everybody. I guess they do that out there in America. I take that back. I take that back, y'all. You can ask your questions. The moderators will pen your questions for you. We're gonna go on that big ass bridge without getting hit by a car first. So we're gonna go on that bridge. You cannot get Chinese Social Security if you're not a citizen. Thank you, Brandon, man. Great to see you, Brandon. Thank you, Brandon. Only my moderators can pin. That's right. Let's keep moving. Roughly the. Let's keep moving. Roughly the same as the United States. 78, 79 years old, average life expectancy. Which is the reason why, go on this bridge, watch this. Why China raised their retirement age. Their retirement as young as 55 years old for women. People were living until like 60 years old. Now people here in China live like 80, 85, 90 routinely. So this is why they had to raise the retirement age. You cannot get dual citizenship with China. Not at all. Not only can you not get dual citizenship with China, you can't even have a Hong Kong Chinese passport and a Mandarin Chinese passport at the same time. You cannot have dual citizenship at all. You can only have one Chinese passport if you're living in China. But I assure you one thing, there's a lot of people on the down low have a second passport. I know a lot of people who have a second passport. I do not, but some people do have a second passport. I know this for a fact. Let's go on the overhead bridge over here. Let's keep moving. Please follow the channel and share this live stream, everybody. Thank you, Carolyn. Is Chinese food healthier? Let me tell it to you this way, man. When you're living out here in this country, you'll realize, man, they're becoming more and more like us with their dietary habits. You know, they got a lot of the same diseases that we get. Heart disease, high cholesterol, cancer prevalence rates. No better than America. No better than America. This is what happens when a country gets wealthy. And China is getting wealthier and wealthier and wealthier. They have some of the same problems health-wise that we do. Cancer, diabetes, very, very prevalent here. Thank you, NFT, stroke, you name it. They have it. So I don't know if the food is healthier. They seem to exercise. They have traditional Chinese medicine, but they live roughly the same amount of time as we do in America. Their life expectancy is roughly the same. So, you know, and honestly, because the country has gotten wealthier and wealthier, more and more people eat out nowadays. They eat a lot of fried food. They eat a lot of junk food, just like we do in America. So we're becoming more alike than you think. The two countries are becoming more alike in ways than you can understand. You know what I mean? So, hey, Planet Group say we poor. Nah, we definitely not poor. The country's getting wealthier and wealthier. But unfortunately, a lot of their life habits is basically like what the Americans do. Please follow the channel, man. Hit that follow button. What's the most popular meal in China we can't get in other countries? All right, this is the right way. Let me tell you guys something, man. Most popular meal in China you can't get in other countries. Oh, look at the moon tonight, everybody. I'm gonna answer that question. Look at the moon tonight. It's the moon right there, perfectly round moon. I don't know about most popular, but what I just had last night, I had 2 lamb nuts last night when I was streaming dinner. I know you ain't gonna find that in many other countries. I had 2 lamb nuts, okay? You tell me, where are you gonna go in America to get a couple of lamb nuts? Okay? I streamed a dinner with 2 lamb nuts yesterday. Where the hell are you gonna get that? Where are you gonna get that at? I don't know if it's popular, but Peking duck is very popular here in China, and you hardly see it back home in the States. Not a lot of Chinese restaurants serve Peking duck in America because it's hard to make. That's also a very popular dish here in China. Let's keep moving, y'all. Follow the channel. Do we have a... How did it taste? It tasted like lamb nuts. Didn't have a taste. Hardly had a taste. By the way, man, just look at the city out here, man. As soon as you leave the downtown area, you kind of just realize, man, like, this is a very, very industrial city here in China. You know, I'm standing on the overpass here. This is a very, very industrial city. Before all this tourism stuff took off, man, this city was like all about heavy industries. You know, the railroads, the big manufacturing. Nowadays, it's all about tourism. You can still see, man, it's a very, very industrial looking city. They don't have any type of a skyline whatsoever. So they don't really have like these big LED screen buildings like you do back home. Not back home, but let's say in Beijing or in Shanghai, or even in a small town next to the North Korean border that I streamed from called Yanji. You know, Harbin is a very industrial city. You notice any type of a skyline? You notice that? You notice any type of a skyline in the city? City of 9.5 million people. You notice that? Hardly a skyline, right? Hit that follow button, everybody. Let's get to 300,000 followers on our trip to Beijing. We're gonna hit 300,000 followers when we get to Beijing tomorrow night. Hit that follow button, y'all. Thank you, Ash. On Thursday night in USA time, we will be streaming from Beijing, China. Thank you, Just. Thank you, Purple Sky. I do not have a car in China, nor do I need a car, man. The taxis are so cheap. The Ubers are so cheap. Subways are so cheap. Subways in China start at 28 cents. I don't know what it is in New York City, man. What's your serious question, Dylan? One of my viewers just texted me. He has a serious question. All right, what's your serious question? Is it safe for Americans to walk around in China? Oh, Sharon. The media demonizes this country, man. The media is always demonizing this country. Always demonizing this country. Always demonizing this country. I have shown you. You can walk anywhere you want. You can walk anywhere you want. You could go into any neighborhood, poor, lower class, blue collar neighborhood, and never have to worry about your safety. There are CCTV cameras everywhere. Any CCTV cameras everywhere. And the Chinese people in general, I just feel like, are not very violent. They don't carry weapons. There's no guns allowed in this country. So very, very safe. Very, very safe. Very, very safe. $2.90. Yeah, hit that follow button, y'all. Hit this follow button and share this. How many new followers we got tonight? Or this morning? Oh, I love it. Beautiful. Let's keep moving. All right, I think we're halfway to the night market. Let's keep going. That's when I'm gonna be riding tomorrow night to go to Beijing. This old green train down there. That's when I'm gonna be riding to go to Beijing. Thank you, Dylan. I'm gonna be on an overnight sleeper train tomorrow. Thank you, Diablo and Plant Groove. I'm gonna sleep on the train tomorrow night and arrive in Beijing by Friday morning, AKA Thursday night USA time. Y'all see that old school? You see this old school green train over here? This is not one of their newer bullet trains. This is what my ass is gonna be riding on tomorrow night. I'm gonna be sleeping with 3 other strangers in my room. We each get a bunk bed and we will be in Beijing, China in exactly 10 hours and 15 minutes. Thank you, Cheech. 10 hours and 15 minutes is my train ride. And I get to save on a night's hotel. Thank you, Carolyn, so it'll be great. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you, Carolyn. Yeah, cheaper than the bullet train. I get to save on a night's hotel, and I don't miss any live streams by transiting, so it's perfect. I love it. I get to sleep. It's a non-stop too. I don't have to stop on any stations in between. It'll be perfect. Thank you, Jeannie. Thank you, Cheech. Why don't I fly? Well, I think I told you guys this. Thank you, Cash Money. Great to see you, Cash Money. I think I told you guys this before, man. I don't like flying. I hate flying. Man, I just don't like flying, man. Flying and I don't get along very well, man. I'm a human being, man. I'm not supposed to be up 30,000 feet in the air. I don't like flying. Look at this. That's probably the station where I'm going to be taking off tomorrow, by the way. Thank you, Katie. Hit that follow button, y'all. We're going to be in Taiwan, China, very soon. What percentage of people are people of color here in China? Very, very little, man. It's a very, very homogenous nation, man. There's very few people of color here. Maybe a couple 100,000, maybe 300,000-400,000 people of color living here in China, mostly in southern China, in Guangzhou. Not many people of color here at all. So let's keep walking and follow the channel and share this live stream. Now, see, what's interesting though, there's actually a lot of folks from Africa. Most of the 200,000-400,000 people of color that are living here in China are actually not from the United States, not from England, not from France. They are actually from Africa. China and the African nations have a great relationship. So there's a lot of African students studying here in China, in Chinese universities. So you're not gonna, truth be told, I don't really see any. I don't see any African American friends from back home in America living here in China. I don't see any Hispanic Americans living here in China. I mostly see a lot of folks from the countries in Africa living here in China. So no, very few people of color from back home in the United States living here in China. That is something I have noticed. Man, very few people, very few Americans living here now in general. You know, not nearly as much as before COVID-19. So that is unfortunate. Let's keep going, y'all. What's the time right now is 7:53 p.m. We've been walking for close to an hour. We should be getting close. We should be a few minutes away. We're actually almost there. Let's keep moving, y'all. Man, that's where I got stopped by the cops last time. Hey, moderators, hit me up with some good questions, please. That's why I got stopped by the cops last time, was at Tiananmen Square. Thank you, Tiger. So, hey, that'll be good, man. Hey, we should do an over and under poll. How many times do y'all think I'm gonna get stopped by the cops this time in Beijing versus in April? Do you think the cops are gonna stop me at all in Beijing this time? Jeannie, that's right. Not many, right? Not many folks, people of color here in China. Just not many Americans here in general. How many times y'all think I'm gonna get stopped by the cops in Beijing? 3 times. I hope it's 3 times. I hope I'm not gonna get stopped at all. I hope the answer is 0. Follow the channel, y'all. I hope the answer is none. 0. Everybody, you know what? It's not even about the market. I just enjoy walking down the street and chit-chatting. Hit the follow button and share this live stream. All right. Right here. Yeah, Dylan, I saw your question. I'm gonna address that question after the live stream. Why I got stopped. Man, you guys have to understand, man. Beijing is where the political center of China is, man. Security there is very tight. You could be walking down the street in Beijing and you can no one's gonna come and frisk you, but they can stop you and ask you for your ID. If you guys remember the old stop and frisk back home in New York City when Giuliani was the mayor in New York City, You guys remember the old stop and frisk in New York City when Rudy Giuliani was the mayor of New York, and Bloomberg stopped that. Bloomberg stopped it. Well, Beijing is the political center of China. So many political, like the Chinese FDA is there, like the Chinese version of the EPA is there, the education ministry is off a subway station. The cops have the right to come and ask you to produce your ID. You could be asked to produce your ID. I mean, it is the political center of China. So this is why I like, and also my ass was an American streamer walking down the street speaking full English, using a camera, a phone, an iPhone, pointing at all these different things in Tiananmen Square. That's a very politically sensitive area, you know what I'm saying? So like, this is the reason why I got stopped. But they were professional. They didn't bother me. They were super professional. They were very nice to me. They saw my passport. They asked me what I was doing. I told them I'm live streaming on TikTok. Nobody bothered me. Nobody bothered me. It was a great experience, and it showed the Americans back home who were watching those live streams back in April. There's nothing to be afraid of when it comes to the cops here. They just do their jobs. They're not going to stop you unreasonably. Don't lie to them. Just tell them what you're doing. I told them I was streaming on TikTok. I'm an American citizen. I'm streaming on TikTok. One of them actually asked me. I remember this very clearly. Thank you, Terry, for sending a sub. I remember one of them asking me, how are you able to use TikTok? What are you using as your internet? I didn't lie. I just told them I'm using my American cell phone and I'm using my American SIM card. Thank you, let me sleep. And that's how I'm able to get on the internet. So they didn't bother me at all. They just let me go. But it is, and you guys understand, I mean, you guys will see, man. When we go to Beijing, man, I'm not really sure what's going to happen. Hopefully everything will go smooth. But it's one of my favorite cities to visit in China, if not my favorite city. We're going to have a great time in Beijing. But it is strict over there. Nowhere else in China have I ever been stopped and asked for my ID. Actually, that's not true. It happened one time when I was in Guangzhou at the bar area. That did happen. And it actually happened one time when I was leaving the subway station in Shanghai. I guess when people look at me, when people look at my ass, you know what I'm saying, they see a man that's up to no good. I think I look like an innocent man. I think I look like a very innocent, good, outstanding citizen. But I guess they took a look at me and they'd be like, damn, this dude kind of tall, man. He look like he up to no good. Let's go and check his shit. You know what I'm saying? So I just cooperate. I give them my passport. But this is a cue for all the Americans that come to visit China, though. You have to bring your passport with you everywhere you go. This is why, even as I'm doing a city walk like this, thank you, Innermost, I gotta bring my freaking passport. I have to bring my passport with me, even on a city walk like this, because you just never know if you need it. You know what I'm saying? So if you travel to China, you have to bring your passport with you every time you leave your hotel, because it is your way of identifying yourself. So my advice is, if you're traveling in China, you come here for vacation, you come here with your family, with your friends, bring your passport with you. Make sure you bring it with you, especially if you're in Beijing. So please follow the channel, man, and share this live stream. Hit that share button. We're at 200 shares. Let's get to 1,000 shares, everybody. Can you open a bank account? Oh, yes, absolutely. I have not only a bank account here in China, I have a bank account in Hong Kong, China as well. And of course, I got my Bank of America account. I also have a Wells Fargo account back home in America. So you can open a bank account here in China. You could do it using your American name. So for example, if your name is Ian, if your name is Randy, if your name is Alex, you can open a Chinese bank account without a Chinese name. Yes, you can. You can open a Chinese bank account. Follow the channel and share this live stream. All right, now we're in a beautiful neighborhood with the willow trees. This is, again, a typical Harbin older neighborhood. We're trying to find a food market that's supposed to open until 10 p.m. Thank you, Cody, and thank you, Terry, for sending the sub. Thank you, Terry. We're on our way to almost 4,000 paying subscribers, almost 300,000 followers. Thank you, Cody. Nick, yes, the answer is yes. Yes, you can. And there's zero restrictions. So unlike in Japan or in Singapore, where you can only smoke in designated places, here in China, you could pretty much smoke anywhere you want. You could smoke anywhere you want in the streets. There's no laws prohibiting that. So that's kind of unfortunate, by the way, if you're not a smoker, because you could be walking behind someone who's smoking in front of you and you'll be ingesting a lot of secondhand smoke. So let's keep moving. But the answer is yes, you can smoke just about anywhere in public in China. In Japan, they have designated smoking areas. Same thing with Singapore. Do you guys know what happens if you... This is a question for all the Americans who are watching. Do you guys know what happens if you spit a piece of chewing gum on the ground in Singapore? Do you guys know what's going to happen to you in Singapore if you spit a piece of chewing gum on the ground? Thank you, Eric. Or you put some graffiti. Do you guys know what's going to happen to you? They give you a fine, a jail, arrested. You get caned. Jay has the right answer. You get caned. They cane people in Singapore. You guys could go ahead and Google what that is. They cane you. They hit you in the ass with a wood stick. They cane you in Singapore. Yeah, they cane you in Singapore. Like, there was a very famous incident during the Bill Clinton administration. A young American in Singapore vandalized a Singaporean building. He put a bunch of spray paint and graffiti on a Singaporean building. He thought he was back home in Los Angeles or some shit. He put a bunch of graffiti on a Singaporean building. This is when Bill Clinton was president in the late 90s. The Singaporean government arrested him and gave him 3 canes. The US government actually appealed to the Singaporean government to spare this young man. Okay, to spare this young man. They should do it in the United Kingdom. That's right. There's a lot of graffiti in the UK and in America. The Bill Clinton administration reached out to what was Lee Kuan Yew's administration at the time and say, please don't cane this young man. They split his ass open. Thank you, Priscilla, with a wood stick for putting graffiti on their buildings in Singapore. This is a true story from the 90s. A very famous story. They cane you. Men and women, too. Thank you, Priscilla. They don't discriminate by gender either. You're going to get the cane no matter what gender you are. So, follow the channel and share this live stream. They didn't listen to Bill Clinton, man. They gave it to him. They gave it to him. All right, very quiet neighborhood. It's got the feeling of an American suburbs. You know, if you guys ever walk around like Oak Park or like a quieter neighborhood in Chicago, this is the vibe you get in Chicago when you're in like, this very much feels like Oak Park in Chicago. If anybody's ever lived in Chicago before, like I have in high school, I went to high school in Chicago, this feels like a quiet neighborhood in Chicago, y'all. You know, look at this. Hit the follow button, everybody. We're on our way to 300,000 followers. We'll get there when we're in Beijing, either sometime tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. This week, we'll hit 300,000 followers. We're going to have a great celebration in Beijing. Keep it moving, man. Oh, outdoor, the answer is yes. They do have just like in some states in America does, they have the death penalty here as well. But also, you know what's kind of crazy, man? I don't like to talk about it too much, man, but the way they have it here is a little bit different. There's a lot of, man, the answer is yes. I don't want to talk about this topic too much, but the answer is yes. Look at this quiet neighborhood over here. Don't this remind you of Chicago a little bit? All the street side parking, all the narrow streets. Reminds me of Chicago a little bit, don't it? Thank you, Priscilla. Thank you very much. Y'all think this reminds you of Chicago? Thank you, Priscilla. Oh, I'm just going to say this. They're tough on crime over here. They are tough on crime over here, man. Look at this. Beautiful. Thank you, Angel. The time right now is only 8:05 p.m. I'm 12 hours ahead of the East Coast. It's 8:05 p.m. So it should be 8:05 a.m. on the East Coast. And just look at how freaking quiet this city is. Look at this. I gotta hurry up, man. That night market closes at 10 p.m. So I do have to hurry it up. Look how quiet everything is. And look at these narrow streets. Just like Sha City, man. Just like Sha City. We are here in northern China, near the border with Russia, in a very beautiful city called Harbin with 9.5 million folks living here. It's a beautiful, beautiful country, beautiful city. But I do need to go to the night market now, so let me continue to walk. Let me continue to walk down the street over here. Thank you, Herman. What are you getting for dinner? We'll see what's at the night market. Let's see if they have any food over there that I like. Cool. All right, hit me up with y'all's best questions. I'm happy to answer anything from you guys as we walk over to the night market. Look at these quiet neighborhoods over here. Thank you, Lisa. Look at this. How quiet it is, man. Not even any kids running around. Kids gotta go to school tomorrow. Look how quiet it is. Oh, that's a great question. They don't use meters here in China. Everything is QR code. That's a great question. Everything is QR code. You scan it with your WeChat or your Alipay. They don't use actual coin meters like we do in America. That's the first time I've ever gotten that question. That's a good question. They don't. You know what else they don't have? They also don't have cops sitting in the corner with a speed radar trying to catch you speeding. They don't do that here in China. I've seen very few traffic tickets handed out for speeding. You see them handed out for like running red lights. You know what I'm saying? You see them handed out for running red lights and things like that. But there's no cops over here in China that uses a speed radar sitting in a car and then they'll chase you down and write you a ticket. They don't do that. Everything is camera based. So if you're like driving recklessly and they catch you, it'll always be because of the camera. It won't be because a cop was hiding in the bushes somewhere using a speed radar. So that's different. Nick, how long can you visit as a tourist? I don't know, man. I'm not on a tourist visa, but I assume at least 30 days. A long time. You can also come to China visa free for 6 days if you're transiting to somewhere else in Asia. So please follow the channel, man, and share this live stream. How do you prevent that arm hurting? Well, let me tell you guys this. My right arm has had a lot of exercise all my life. So my right arm is quite well developed. That's how I'm able to hold this phone for like 5 hours at a time. Follow the channel. Share this live stream. We're on our way to 300,000 followers. Lame jokes coming your way for the rest of the day. Let's keep moving, man. Who's excited for Wednesday morning, y'all? It's Wednesday morning. Hump day. Halfway through the week. You say you should read your Bible. I should read my Bible. You're right. I should read my Bible. It's a beautiful neighborhood, man. So this is the difference between northern and southern China. Thank you, Plant Group and Nathan. Work time. Go to work outdoor. No. Nathan. Work time. Go to work outdoor. No, this is the difference between northern and... Let's keep moving, everybody. Let's keep moving. Let's keep moving, man. Thank you, Susie. Hit the follow button, everybody. Hit that follow button. I do. I have to bring a passport always. The answer is yes. Yes, I do. I'm Christian. I'm a bad Christian, but I am Christian. I don't have time to go to church here in China. But there are a lot of churches that I could go to in Shenzhen, but I'm always on the road. So I always like to tell people, man, I'm a bad Christian. He said, Michael Jackson, just beat it. Just beat it. Let's keep moving, man. Y'all want to see the market? Me too, man. We're almost there. I decided to walk here instead of take a car. And y'all kept me company for like the last hour of walking. So please follow the channel and share this live stream. We're almost there. They do need help. Share this live stream. We're almost there. They do need headlights, man. Let me tell you guys. Thank you, Angel. Thank you for the gold medal. Thank you, Angel. Well, and let me finish my thought, though. Northern China, as I've been traveling in this area for the last month, throughout various cities in northern China, it makes me realize just how different and just how quiet this part of the country is, man. Hardly any nightlife. You never think like everybody is Chinese here in this country, but you just never think like northern China is so quiet. Southern China will be popping at 7:30 p.m. Like if this is in Guangzhou, oh my God, the evening is just getting started. All the ladies, all the gentlemen will be out in the streets right now having a good time of all ages. And you can see here in northern China, 7:30 at night, streets are totally empty. So everything is closed. This is the difference between north and south. And this is why the is south. So if there's one thing you want to learn about China, you want to understand is like, other than Beijing in northern China, which we're going to be in 36 hours, much of the economy here in the north is now lagging behind their southern counterparts. All the heavy manufacturing, so much of the international economics, like the stuff that you buy at Amazon, the stuff that you buy at Walmart, so many of the sellers that you buy from Amazon are actually in southern China, in Shenzhen and Guangzhou. The north is really, really economically lagging behind. And you could just see it in the streets. It's quiet. Yes, please follow the channel and share this live stream, y'all. Are we lagging? Only reason we're lagging. Thank you, Susie, man. I appreciate it. Thank you, Susie. Thank you very much. Look, man, if this is your first time watching me, thank you, Pink Sakura and Susie T. This is in northern China near the border with Russia in a city called Harbin. Very cold winter city. This is also called the Ice City. It's a very, very quiet evening city. We're heading to a night market. I want everybody to watching. Thank you, Susie. Thank you, Rehanan and Eileen Mack. I want everybody to remember what you're seeing now. And I want you guys to compare it with Taiwan, China. When we fly to Taiwan on October 2nd to stream from Taiwan, China. Thank you, Max. I want you guys to remember this. And I want you guys to compare mainland China to Taiwan, China. Thank you, Michelle and Max, when we are there on October 2nd. Seriously, follow the channel. Once we're in Taiwan, we're going to be streaming there for like maybe 7 to 8 days, maybe longer if things go well. If the internet is really good there, I'll stream for a little bit longer. I want you guys to remember all this and then compare it to the culture, the buildings in Taiwan, China, and then we can talk about it when we're there. I'm gonna give you some thoughts about some of the differences between mainland and Taiwan, China. So follow the channel, y'all. And then when we go to Beijing, when we go to the capital, obviously we're gonna go to all the touristy spots, but I want you to compare the neighborhoods in Beijing as well with what you're seeing here in Harbin, because it's gonna be very different, man. I'm telling y'all, man. Let me tell you guys this. Let me stand on the sidewalk when I say this. I've been everywhere. I think I've been to a lot of places in America. I've been to a lot of places in China. Beijing, the capital, is the only place on this entire world, not New York City, not Los Angeles, not San Francisco. I've never been to San Francisco, not Las Vegas, not Hong Kong, not Guangzhou, not Shanghai. Beijing is the only place that I've ever been in my life where I feel very, very ordinary. I feel like a nobody. Well, I am a nobody. Thank you, Joe Busi. When we go to Beijing and you really understand that city, that is the only city where I feel like a nobody. That is a city where all the movie stars, all the singers, all the actresses, all the actors, all the politicians, all the people with power, all of the wealthiest people, so many, not all of them, so many of the wealthiest people in China, they all live in Beijing. Thank you, N. And when you go there, you can feel it in the air. You can feel it in the air. You know what I'm saying? You could really feel it. It is a city unlike anywhere else I've ever been. Like New York City is wealthy. New York City is big. No city has ever made me feel small the way that Beijing has. Every time I go to Beijing, I feel small. I feel insignificant. I just feel like a nobody there. You know, so when we go there, I'm gonna try to explain as much of it as possible on the reason why. Like you could be in Beijing and like you just see stuff and you're just like, man, it's crazy. Thank you, Daejuan, thank you. Not Bangkok, nowhere, not even close. To be honest, man, no city has ever made me feel small the way that Beijing has. It's just something different about that city, man. So I'm not trying to hype it up, man. I think I said it last time I was there. Thank you, NY Rican and Shay K. Thank you, N. That city hits different. And you'll see when we get there. You'll see why when we get there, man. Let's keep moving. Follow the channel and share this live stream. Thank you, White Boy Ritz. Great to see you. Where the hell is this market at? Right here. Thank you, Ian. Thank you, Shay K. Thank you, Shawnee. Good morning, everybody in the United States. Good morning and good afternoon, everybody in Europe. We're walking to a night market here in the city of Harbin. We're just chatting. Thank you, Costco. What university you said? Thank you, Herman and Costco. Thank you. Thank you, John and Black Widow. That's a good question, man. That's a great question. You should apply to a university in a city that you want to live in. So like if you want to be in the South, then you should apply to a Southern university. If you want to live in the North, you should apply to a Northern university. The education you get is pretty much the same. The curriculum that they have for foreigners coming here is pretty much the same, in my opinion, whichever university you go to. So find out what city you want to live in China and apply to that university, if that makes sense. Let it be about the city. Ooh, this place actually opened up a bit. Look at this, man. Thank you, S. Lewis. Thank you very much. Keep moving. All right, we should almost be there. It's opened up a bit. Follow the channel, y'all. Hit that follow button. Thank you, Mrs. Blondie. Thank you, Miss Taina. Thank you, Eric and Miss Taina. Thank you very much. All right, we're almost there. Thank you, JT and NY Recon. This is the name of the city that we're in, by the way. If you wanted to Google it, Harbin, Harbin. It's Harbin Bank over here, but that is the name of the city. Harbin. What is up in Pennsylvania? What is up? What is up? Follow the channel, y'all. Hit that follow button. Yes. Got our Mickey D's. I'm kind of hungry. You know what? We'll get some dinner later, man. Let's keep moving. Kind of hungry now. Thank you, Rob and JT. I kind of want to get a little McDonald's to go real quick. Ma, you know what, man? Let's keep moving. Let's go to the night market, man. Let's go to the night market. Thank you, JT. Let's go to the night market, man. Trying to eat a little bit healthier, man. Let's go to the night market. Let's go to the night market. Y'all want to see McDonald's, man? All y'all new viewers want to see McDonald's? Man, my old viewers have seen McDonald's so much already. Yeah? Dylan's like, no. Dylan's like, no. You want to see McDonald's? Man, y'all don't want to see no McDonald's, man. Yeah, let's... I'm gonna give y'all a little 30-second look. I'm just gonna give y'all a 30-second look. This is a McDonald's out here in China. Oh, hey, this is a pretty discreet one. We do have a lot of new viewers to the channel. I don't want to go inside because it's gonna mess up my signal. But the prices at McDonald's here are cheap. You know what? I don't even need to go inside. I can show you the prices on my phone. What am I thinking? Watch this. Voila, magic. Here are the prices at McDonald's. Boom. Oh, that's KFC. Let me show you McDonald's. We don't even need to go and walk inside. We could keep walking. Here you go, McDonald's, Mickey D's. All right, look at the prices. Let me show you some. Let me show you a Big Mac. All right, look. With some chicken, with some chicken. Thank you, it's me. I'm gonna give it to you guys in US dollars. Hold up 1 second. Hold up 1 second. Hold up 1 second. All right, here's a Big Mac. That's the one thing I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you the Big Mac, and then we're gonna leave, okay? This is the Ju Wu Ba. This is the Chinese Big Mac right here. 28.5 yuan, $4 for a Big Mac. For just a Big Mac, $4 US. Okay, I'm only doing this because we got some new viewers. $4. This is the Filet-O-Fish right here, plus fries, plus Coca-Cola, $5.40. 38.5 yuan, $5.30 for a McDonald's Filet-O-Fish. The McDonald's, this is the Big Mac meal right here. A Big Mac meal with fries and Coca-Cola is 41 yuan, and that is about $5.85 for a Big Mac meal with fries and Coca-Cola. $5.85. All right, and if you want to get some chicken, let's say you want to get a bucket of chicken, you can get 4 pieces of McDonald's chicken with fries and Coca-Cola for 40.5 yuan. So that's like $5.65. $5.65 for a 4-piece chicken with fries and Coca-Cola. And 5-piece chicken McNuggets with fries and Coca-Cola, $4.30. $4.25 with 5 pieces of chicken McNuggets with fries and Coca-Cola, $4.20. So the prices are going to be, I don't know how the prices compare. I haven't been to a McDonald's in America in a long time. I would imagine the prices are a little bit cheaper here because the average income here is only $560 a month. So prices should be cheaper, right? You prefer Subway? They also have Subway out here in China, the restaurant Subway in China. And the prices are roughly like $5 for a foot long. So back when Jared was doing commercials for Subway, they got the same prices here in China. So let's keep moving.